Right, so I've had a few lessons with another instructor who couldn't make it today, but he's got exactly the same car as you, so I'm familiar with the controls of the Fiesta.
Okay.
He said today we were going to look at turning left and right from major roads into minor.
Okay.
So approaching left and right hand turns,
Yep.
the turn left to the turn right. So my name's Tony, so unless you've got any questions.
No, I'm good
Yeah?
to go.
Okay, so I'll leave you to meet and greet.
All right. Hi, Tony. I'm Clark. How are you?
Hi Clark, nice to meet you.
You too. So we're going to look at turning left and right today.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. What? One of the major things about the process we're going to go through today is the mirror signal position speed look routine.
All right.
Have you done that in any of your driving so far?
Oh, I think we've done it last week on emerging.
Excellent. Okay. So quite basic. Some of the tools that you've used last week, we're going to use them again today.
All right.
So you should be familiar with some of the things we're going to go
Yeah.
through. So when you on your emerging last week, well, let's say for instance you were making a right turn at the
Yeah.
emerge.
Yeah.
What was the first mirror you checked?
Oh, the middle one.
Yeah. And what were you checking that for?
Oh, distance and speed.
Yeah. And what mirror did you check after that?
Oh, if I was turning right, I was checking the right one.
And what are you looking for in the right mirror?
Oh, people overtaken, he said.
Yeah. And if there was someone overtaken, what did you do? What would you have done?
Oh, he said I'd let them go.
Brilliant. So after you check your mirrors, what did you consider using then? Do you remember?
Oh, signal.
Brilliant. And do you remember how far away from the emerge that you considered popping the signal on?
Oh, I think he said about 7 car lengths.
Excellent. So we're using that exact same thing today. And then when you were doing the turn right at the emerge, did you use or work on a reference point to get you in a left to centre position?
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll go through that again today, step by step. But we're using that again today.
All right.
Yep. And what sort? When you were approaching the emerge and pulling out the emerge, what sort of speeds were you travelling at?
I had 2 speeds, either jogging pace or walking pace.
Okay. And what was the difference? Why did you use different speeds?
Well, some of them I couldn't see and some I could see.
Excellent. Okay. So we refer to them as open and closed junctions.
Oh, okay.
So today we'll be doing exactly the same thing. If we
Right.
can't see what's around the corner,
Yeah.
we'll be at a walking speed. If we can see, we won't be going at a running speed.
All right.
So we'll just look at turning right to start with. So we'll go through the position. We'll go through what we've just gone through there. When we're turning right, you'll probably remember this from doing your emerging. You got yourself in a left of centre position. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today, as we're approaching, making our right turn, we'll stop a few times and we'll pick up a reference point. And what it will be is where this centre line here cuts into your car. We'll do it on the move, so you don't have to remember it now.
So you're telling me the reference points.
Well, at some point it'll cut into your car, and you'll work out where that is today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And you're going to use that reference point, so you never end up driving on the wrong side of the road,
Right.
which would be very dangerous and you could cause an accident. But we'll work on it today. And then you're going to use another reference point, which is where the centre line in the new road cuts into your car as well.
All right.
And we do that so when you turn right, you never cut this corner,
All right.
because that's dangerous, because you're basically driving on the wrong side of the road.
Okay.
Yeah, you could be in an accident there. Apart from, if there is a vehicle parked here, we're allowed to cut the corner, but what we do is we take extra observation, and we always do it at a walking pace.
All right.
So we have a good look down the road, because if
Yeah.
there was a car coming up the road here, Tony, it wouldn't make any sense, would it, for us to just pull into the new road?
Right.
Yeah? So we'll let the car come through, and then we'll proceed and come round. Otherwise, we're just going to block each other off. So when when you were doing your emerging last week,
Yeah.
if you had to turn right out the emerge, and there was a car coming down the road, like this green car is here, how did you know if you had enough time to turn out or not?
Oh,
Did you use a tool for that?
something to do with walk. If I could walk, I could drive or something.
Yeah, that's right, which is what this illustration here represents. So when we're turning right today, we're crossing the path of a vehicle coming towards us. We could be, yeah?
Oh, I'm crossing the path of which vehicle?
See the green car coming
the
down the
green
road?
car, yeah.
We're turning right, so we're
Yeah.
crossing in front of that green car. So for us to work out if we've got time to safely turn, and when we say safely, we mean the person driving the green car, we don't want to cause them to swear, swerve, slow, or steer. Yeah. Did you cover those 4 S's all last week?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same 4 S's. And like you just said there, Tony, we use the walk across routine. So if you think you could safely walk across the road in front of the green car coming
All right.
towards us, then you could safely turn
All right.
in front of the green
Yeah.
car. How does that sound?
Yeah.
So we're going to work all this out when we're on the move today. But what's really important is, and I'll probably go on about it quite a lot, is when we're doing these turns, we're always looking for pedestrians.
All right.
Little kiddies coming out on bikes out of
Yeah.
driveways, because they're not
Yeah.
going to look for you. Yeah. So we'll just have a quick look at turning left. So again, when you were doing your left emerging last week, what was the first mirror you checked?
Oh, interior one.
Yeah. And what mirror did you check after that?
Oh, the left one.
And what are you looking for in the left mirror?
Oh, the bikes.
Yeah. And what would you do if there was a bike there?
Oh, he said if the bike was already pedalling up fast behind me, I wouldn't stick the indicator on because I frightened him.
Yeah, terrific. And what would you consider doing after you check your mirrors?
Oh, signal.
Yeah. And what sort of speed were you coming into the emerging at?
Well, again, it was either jogging or walking.
Just for your open and closed junctions. Yeah. Terrific. Okay. So we'll do the same thing today. We'll go through this process on the way up to the junction.
Yeah.
And I'll help you each step of the way. So again, if it's closed, we'll be coming around at a walking pace. We won't be slipping the car into first gear.
Right.
We'll be checking for pedestrians. And then once we're in the new road, like you would have done when you're emerging, once you're in the new road, what was the first thing you checked? Do you remember?
Oh, interior mirror, yeah. See what
Yeah.
followed me.
Yeah. And what other mirror did you check after that?
Oh, the right one.
And what were you checking that one for?
To see if anybody's overtaken me.
Yeah. And what would you do if they were?
Let them go.
Yeah, terrific. Why was it important to make sure you let them go?
Oh, yeah. Because they could have gone into that green car that just come up the road.
Yeah, excellent. All right, Tony, we're going to leave the brief there.
Yeah.
Okay. We've covered everything pretty thoroughly.
Yeah.
You don't worry if you don't remember any of it. We're going to cover it all on the move.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to give you a bit of an idea about what we're doing today. So again, like I said, a lot of the tools that you used last week, we'll use again today.
Oh,
So it should be fairly familiar after a while. So if you want to go through your cockpit drill, get yourself set up comfortably and safely.
Yeah.
Tell me what you can see in your interior mirror there.
Oh, I can see the top and bottom of the back window, and I can see the edge of my head restraint.
Okay, terrific. What about your right mirror?
Oh, I can see the door handles, and I can see right down the end of the road.
And your left mirror?
I can see the door handles, I can see right down the end of the pavement.
Brilliant, okay. Start the car off, and we'll go and have a bit of a drive, and we'll find some left and right turns.
Oh.
Okay. So what we can do is, like you might have done on your emerging last week, was there ways that you could identify emerging possibilities coming up as early as you could?
Oh, I can see houses at the end of the road.
Yeah.
And we're going to take the next turning to the right.
Okay, so check your interior mirror for me, please, Tony. You going to check it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's important to check. Right mirror check?
All right, yeah.
Pop your signal on.
Yeah.
Okay, now cover the brake and bring the car to a slow walking pace. Yep. You can use the clutch because you're probably going to have to use first gear here. Now what I want you to do is go 5 minutes to you. Yep. Now come 10 minutes to me. Now straighten up.
Yeah.
Yep. And now I want you to keep creeping forward. I'll tell you when to stop. And stop there for me, please, Tony. Okay. Can you see where this line here cuts into the car? The one that's ahead of you. That's like a crack in the road. Yeah. That's your reference point, Tony, to make sure you're always left of centre.
All right.
It's important you're left of centre. Just pop your signal on there for me, please, Tony. It's important you're left of centre because if you ever cross the right line, you're on the wrong side of the road and you could be in an incoming accident, head-on accident.
All right.
And if you're too far to the left, people will think that you might be parking up in the car and they're going to come flying past you.
Yeah.
And then you start to turn right. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Okay. And then you see the line in the new road. Where does that cut into the car?
Which line?
The centre line that comes down the road. Where does that cut into the car?
Oh, just where the storm mirror is.
Okay. I want you to use that as a reference point, Tony. So when we begin to turn, we never cut the corner.
All right.
It's important not to cut the corner because we're on the wrong side of the road and we might be in an accident.
All right.
Is that okay? Okay. So what you do is check your interior mirror for me. Check your right mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, and then nice and slow, just at a walking pace, pull into your road, look where you're turning,
All right.
stay to your right, turn now. Yep, that's enough. Straighten up.
All right.
Now look in your mirror for you're in a new road.
All right.
Check your interior mirror
All right,
first.
yeah.
And check your right mirror.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're checking the right mirror, Tony, because if there's anyone who was trying to overtake us, we'd let them go, because we don't want to force one to the wrong side of the road.
All right.
Yeah. You're checking the interior mirror because you want to know if anyone's followed you into the road.
Right, yeah.
And what speed they're travelling at. It's important to do that. So that was quite a good turn there, Tony. So the two reference points we picked up there, we're going to continue to use those now. Use those on every right turn that we make. How did that feel doing that time?
Yeah, it felt all right, yeah.
Okay, that's good. So when you turn into the new road, what mirror should you check first? Do you remember?
On the right one.
Okay, you're checking your interior mirror first.
Oh, interior one.
Yeah, that gives you the true distance and speed of the vehicle behind.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then you check the right mirror to make sure if anyone's overtaking you. And like you said,
that's after I turn into the road.
after you turn into the road,
that's similar to what I've done after the emerges last week.
Yeah, so it's the same sequence.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
But it's important to check that interior mirror first because you need to know if anyone's followed you into the road and what they're doing.
So some bits are similar then.
Yeah, quite a few of the tools that you're going to use, like
we're going to turn left.
we'll turn left here. The you know when you did your merging last week, and just like we did there, we got the reference point for the centre, left of centre position.
I just about remember that.
Yeah, so that left of centre position is
But the mirrors seem to be similar in the new road and that.
yeah, they're exactly the same sequence, Tony. So on your approach to making a right turn, whether you're emerging or turning right, your mirror sequence is the same at the beginning, and it's the same at the end. So it's always checking the interior mirror first for true distance and speed, and then checking the right mirror, see if anyone's overtaking you, and then you let them go if they are.
And we're going to turn right.
So check your interior mirror for me, please, Tony.
Right.
Check, please, Tony.
All right, yeah.
Now check your right mirror.
Yeah.
Pop your signal on.
Yeah.
Now come down to a walking pace, cover the brake. Yeah, now I want you to turn towards you, 5 minutes, turn to me, 5 minutes, straighten up.
Yeah.
Now pick up that reference point that you had before. So the centre line's coming into the car at the same place as before.
Just there, yeah.
And then stop when you see the reference point on the right, come into your right mirror.
Just there.
Brilliant. So set the car to go. We're going to do observation first. Stop the car there, Tony. Stop the car for me, please. When there's a car coming towards us, we've got to make sure we have enough time to walk across the road safely in order to drive across the road safely. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So check your interior mirror for me. Check the right mirror.
Yeah.
Now, is a car coming?
Yeah.
Okay, could you cross the road safely now?
No.
No, so you have to wait. So check your interior mirror again.
Yeah.
Check your right mirror.
Yeah.
Could you cross the road now?
Yeah.
Okay, now you can go safely.
Right.
Go in nice and slow, Tony. Look up the road,
Yeah.
because there could be a pedestrian crossing the road behind the van.
All right.
Yeah. We're in a new road now, so what's the first thing we have to do?
Oh, interior mirror.
Yeah, and then which mirror?
Oh, right hand mirror.
And what are we checking the interior mirror for?
Oh, see what's followed me and see what's overtaken me.
Yeah, great. And what are we checking the right mirror for?
See if anybody's overtaken me.
And what would you do if there were?
I would let them go.
Why would you?
Because if I didn't, they may be alongside me and somebody coming towards me and they could hit each other head on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I just want to take you back to the right turn that we did there. The reason we have to make sure we can walk across the road in order to drive across. Just watch the little kiddie there behind the car.
And turning left. Please.
We'll turn left. So where are you going to check first?
Oh, interior one.
And then the next one?
Oh, left one.
You're going to check it?
All right, yeah.
Make sure there's no cyclists. Put your signal on.
Yeah.
Now walk in pace. Now slip the car into first gear here.
All right, yeah.
Yep. Look down the road, Tony, before you turn in. Take your foot off the gas.
Off the gas. Oh.
Just less gas. Then bring the clutch up slowly for
All
me.
right.
Check the interior mirror because you're in a new road.
All right.
And check the right mirror. Anyone overtaking you?
No.
Okay. What would you do if someone was trying to overtake?
Oh, let them go, wouldn't
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a bit of practice making sure that when we come into the new
turn
road,
left at the
we'll
end.
turn left, please, Tony. Just so we come into the road at a nice pace, at a nice walking pace.
Oh, I had the gas on there, didn't I?
Yeah, there was a lot too much gas there.
Yeah, normally when I press the gas, the car goes faster.
So in that scenario, what happened there is you had the clutch pedal down.
Oh, right.
Okay, we need to have the clutch pedal
Oh,
up.
so it wasn't the gas that was wrong, it was the clutch that was wrong.
Yeah, so what happens is when you bring your hand up to straighten the wheel, bring the clutch up as well.
Right.
Yeah? So, sorry, we'll practice that on the next one.
What's that called? Being a plonker?
Yeah.
And turning left.
What mirror are you going to check first?
Oh, interior mirror.
And next mirror?
Oh, left mirror.
You going to check it?
Yeah.
Put your signal on. And walking pace now, Tony. So again, you'll need first gear here. So bring the clutch up.
All right.
Yeah, look into the new road.
All right.
Yeah, turn towards me.
On my left
That's
mirror.
good. Look for any pedestrians
Oh,
crossing the road.
pedestrians. Oh, yeah, pedestrians.
And then straighten up. What are you going to check now when you're in a new road?
Oh, interior mirror.
And what other mirror?
Right mirror.
Yeah, brilliant. Tony, on the approach to turning left, it's very important we check the left mirror for cyclists. And if you see a cyclist there, don't indicate, just let them go first.
Right.
Because otherwise, they might panic and wobble, and we might end up running them over. Yeah.
And we're going to turn left, please.
So check your interior mirror for me. Which one's next?
Oh, I've done emerging.
Oh, sorry, of course you have. So you did well there on that last turn, Tony. You can see how important it is to get the speed down when it's a closed junction, because you need to be able to see.
We're going to turn left, please.
We're going to turn left. So check your interior mirror for me. What's the next mirror?
Oh, left one.
Put the signal on. Now cover the brake, Tony. Come down to a walking speed. So you're going to need first gear here.
Right.
Yeah. So bring your clutch up and bring your hand up. Now look for pedestrians crossing the road.
Right.
Turn in.
None.
Excellent. And now we're in a new road. What do we need to check?
Yeah, middle mirror.
Yep. Anyone there?
No.
And check what mirror next.
Oh, right one.
Anyone overtaking?
No.
Brilliant. What are you checking the interior mirror for when you turn into a new road?
Oh, this is the speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
See what's followed me in.
And what are you checking the right mirror for?
Oh, anybody overtaking me?
And what would you do if there were?
Let them go.
Why?
Because they would have hit that white car, wouldn't they?
Yeah, well done. Excellent. Oh, he's pulling out in front of you. That's very nice of it.
And we're going to turn left.
And we'll turn left. So when we're on the way to our turn, when we're doing our left turns or right turns, we're checking the interior mirror first, which you're doing really well.
Yeah.
Do you know why you're checking it first?
Oh, this is the speed, isn't it?
Yeah, so if there was a car really close behind you, what would you do differently? What could you do differently?
Oh, well, I might signal earlier, wouldn't
Yeah, and why would you signal earlier? What's that going to...
I? I'll give him time to react, isn't it?
Yeah, stop him run up behind and into the back of you.
And turning left.
So check your interior mirror for me, Tony, please.
All right, yeah.
And watch the next mirror.
Oh, left one.
And what do we do next? Signal.
Oh, signal.
And now coming down to a walking pace, you're going to need first gear here.
All right.
So first gear, clutch up, hand
All
up,
right, yeah.
turn in, look for pedestrians crossing the
Oh,
road.
pedestrians, yeah.
Brilliant. What we doing now with the new road?
Oh, interior mirror. See
Yeah.
what's followed me. And right door mirror to see if anybody's overtaking me.
And are there?
No.
No. And what would you do if there were?
I'd let them go.
Yeah, excellent, that was good.
And at the end of the road, we're going to turn right.
So at the end of the road we're going to turn right.
So the mirrors are pretty much the same as what I've done last week then?
Yeah, they are. That's what I was saying in the brief earlier on. You can use a lot of the same tools. So you're noticing that we're using a lot of the same tools that you used last week?
Kind of.
Yeah. So your mirrors on at the beginning are the same, your mirrors at the end are the same.
Turning left.
We'll turn left here, please.
So it's only the mirrors that are the same.
Well, no, because you remember you were doing the mirror. We're considering a signal the same. Our speed for the same type of junctions the same. You're using your reference point to make sure you don't cross the centre of the line the same when you're turning right. So a lot of it's very similar. Because you know when you did your emerging, when you picked up the reference point so you didn't cross the centre of the white line on the way to the emerge.
I think so. Yeah.
So we use the same reference point or a similar reference
Now we're
point.
going to turn left at the roundabout and then immediately right.
So
Left at the roundabout and immediately right.
So we'll turn left at the roundabout, please, Tony, and then immediately right. So what's the first thing you're going to check once we come around this corner to make the right turn?
Oh, the mirrors.
So check the mirrors then. And then check the right mirror. Hope if you check the right mirror,
Yeah.
put the signal on.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to help you come into your reference point again. This is to not cross the white line.
All right, yeah.
So remember where the cut in the road's coming.
Yeah.
So come back towards me.
All right.
Yep. Now turn towards you.
Yeah.
Straighten up.
Yeah.
Now stop there for
All right.
Okay. You see where the centre line's coming down the road?
Yeah.
Where's that cutting into the car?
Same place, the last time.
Brilliant. So this is your position, remember, for not encroaching on the white line, crossing
Yeah.
it. Okay, so check your interior mirror for me.
Oh, he's overtaking me.
Okay, that's good that you checked, so we can wait. Right, we've got a few. Okay, check your interior mirror again.
Yeah.
Check your right mirror.
Yeah.
Anyone overtaking you?
Yeah.
Okay, you can turn in nice and slow. That's it. So we're in a new road now. So what's the first thing to check?
Oh, interior mirror.
And the right. And what's the next mirror?
Oh, right door mirror. See if
Okay.
he's overtaking me.
All right, Tony. I'll just get you to pull over where it's safe when you can do on the left. Terrific. The reason I'm asking you to stop is because we're just not getting all the time we need for me to talk to you about these reference points when we're turning in the road.
Okay, right. Yeah.
So you know where I got you to stop the car and you picked up the reference point where it was running into the car?
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason we're doing that is because we want to make sure we're never on the right hand side of the line or even on the line. Okay. Because then if we are, we're technically on the wrong side of the road and cars coming towards us could run into us.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And the reason you could say, well, that's easy. I'll just stay all the way to the left.
Yeah, I was thinking
But,
that. Yeah.
So the problem is, you look at that car in front of us.
Yeah.
Do you think that car's parked?
Yeah.
So do I. Because it's on the very left of the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if you're approaching that car now, would you stop behind it or drive round it?
Well, he's not indicating, so I'd drive around him.
Yeah, I would drive round him too. So imagine if you're got such a left of centre position and you want to turn right into that road there.
Yeah, he's not indicating anyway, is he?
No, he's not. But sometimes your indicator can just click itself off. And if you haven't realised...
No, I say, but he's not indicating to turn right, so I wouldn't expect him to be turning right.
But do you think that every driver out there is always going to use their indicator to turn right? Every time?
Oh, right, yeah.
Not always, unfortunately. So the reason is we always go in that correct position in the road, because if we're too far to the left, we're giving drivers behind us the wrong impression. Yeah.
Oh, right,
the car's a signal
yeah.
as well as the indicator.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Because that car to me looks like it's parked.
Yeah.
Yeah. There could be someone in there that we can't see about to turn right there, and they've just forgot to put their indicator on.
Oh, right.
And here we are driving past them.
Yeah.
So the position in the road is important. We can't be too far to the right because we'll be on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah.
We could be in a head-on accident.
Yeah.
We can't be too far to the left because we're giving misguiding information to other vehicles around us
Oh, right, yeah.
and pedestrians. If I was walking towards that car, I think, oh yeah, it's safe to cross the road. If I couldn't see the little person in the driving seat, yeah, and off I go.
All right.
By putting the car in the correct position and putting the signal on, we're telling everyone exactly what we're doing,
Oh,
so
right.
no one's
Yeah.
unsure. Yeah. And you've been doing really well turning into the road with your reference point near your mirror, because then we're not going to cut the corner.
All right. Yeah.
And it's important not to cut the corner because then we're on the wrong side of the road. And if there is anyone coming up the street towards us, we're going to be in a bit of a mess because we're on their side of the road,
Oh,
aren't we?
right. No, never cut a corner. Yeah.
Apart from when you look into the road, if there's a parked vehicle there or an obstruction that we need to drive around, we're allowed to cut the corner. But we always do it at a walking pace. We take extra precaution and extra observations. So for instance, let's say there was a truck parked on the corner there,
Yeah.
and we wanted to turn right. If there's a vehicle coming up the road, let the vehicle come up the road first and clear out the way, and then we'll make our right turn.
No, so I wouldn't drop
Past
in
the
behind
truck.
the car or the truck or whatever parked on the corner.
Not if you don't have to. Look, if you've got loads of traffic behind you, you can turn in. There's nothing actually wrong with turning in. But if there's no one behind you, I would wait for the car to come up the road and clear the obstruction first, and then I'd turn in and drive.
Oh, so I would turn in.
You know when you get your right of centre, you know when you're in your left of centre position?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got your reference point for turning right.
And I see that I need to cut the corner.
Yeah. I would wait there
All right.
for the vehicle to come through, move out your way,
Yeah.
and then go.
Yeah.
Because if you turn in, you're just going to have to stop behind the truck or whatever's
Wouldn't it help
parked.
a little bit if I can, just for a stop left to centre, just put a few turns on the wheel,
Okay. If you did that, where would your wheels be?
turning to the right?
Sticking out like that, wouldn't they?
Yeah, what difference does that make?
Well, imagine you're sitting there in the junction with your wheels like this.
Yeah.
What if a guy comes flying up the road behind you and crashes into the back of you? Where's your car going to go?
Oh, into the turning.
It's going to go onto the wrong side of the road.
Oh, right, of course.
What about the car coming towards you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's important not to have any... We turn once we've began the full turn into the road.
Yeah.
If we put the turning on before, if we get hit from behind, we're going to be pushed onto the wrong side of the road. And if there's a car coming towards us, they might clip your wheel because your wheel's not straight anymore. It's sticking out the side of the car.
Oh, I get you, yeah.
Yeah? So it's important not to do any steering before we actually begin the full turn in.
Oh, okay, I get that, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, you've been doing really well. Should we go and have a practice at a couple
Yeah,
more?
yeah.
All right, great.
So we're going to take the next turning to the right.
Take the next turning to the right. So what are you going to do first?
Actually, we're going to carry on down to the next turning to the left.
Okay. So Tony, whether we're turning left or right, what's the first mirror we check?
Oh,
What-
middle.
Yeah. And what are you checking for?
Oh, distance and speed, isn't it?
Yeah. And what if we're turning left?
Now we're going to turn left.
Okay, so what's your first mirror?
Middle.
And what are you going to do now?
Oh, left.
You going to check it?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What are you going to do now?
Signal.
Okay. What's the good speed for this corner?
I can see into it.
Yep. Any pedestrians crossing the road?
No.
Okay. In you go. There's a cyclist there. He's on the right. He's
So
on
I'll
the
just
right.
indicate when you tell me to, yeah?
Well, what we'll do is, I'll prompt you when you put your indicator on, because you know it's roughly 7 car lengths, which would be the same as what you did on emerging last week. I'll help you with the next few until you get the judgment of 7 car lengths.
Is it always 7 car lengths?
Look, as a general rule, it is, but not always. So I'll give you an example
turn
of.
right.
We'll turn right here, please, Tony. So what are you going to do first?
Middle mirror.
And then what are you going to do next?
Right mirror.
Then?
When you said
Signal.
tell me. I'll signal.
Yep, sorry, pop it on now.
Yeah.
My fault. And then this is a really tight one, so I want you to come to a full stop this time, in your centre road position. And now we're going to have to look down the road.
All right.
Yeah, is it clear?
Yeah.
Anyone coming towards you?
No.
Okay, so nice and slowly around this vehicle. Yep, look for anyone crossing the road there.
No.
Now you're in a new road, what do you need to check now?
Oh, middle mirror and
then
right mirror.
Yeah, that's it. I'll come back to you on the question you had there before about indicating and the appropriate time to indicate. Generally it's 7 car lengths. But if there's 2 roads very close to each other on the right, don't indicate 7 car lengths before the turning, because people might think you're going into the first turning, when in fact you really want to turn into the second turning.
Oh,
Bring
right.
your speed down, and when you've gone past the first turning, then pop your signal on.
Oh, so it's not cast in stone then?
It's definitely not cast in stone.
Oh, yeah. And we're going to turn right.
And we'll turn right here, please, Tony. So the process you're going into now to do your emerging, it's just the same process that we go into when we're doing our left and right turns.
Right.
Yeah. And as you've done there, you've done your mirrors properly after you emerge, just the same as when you've turned into a new road. Just checking those mirrors again.
And we're going to turn right, please.
I'll take the next turning on the right, please, Tony. What are you going to check first?
Oh, interior mirror.
And then which
and
one?
Then the right mirror.
And then what's next?
Oh, signal.
Yeah, that's about 7 car lengths, that's fine. And then, can we see into the corner?
I've got to steer towards me.
Yeah, bring it to you. Okay, let's go at first gear, Tony.
Yeah.
You've got your centre line position, so when your reference point comes up,
I'll have to give way, am I?
yeah, is there anyone coming?
No.
Okay, so we got time to cross the road?
All right, yeah.
Yeah. Check your right mirror.
All right.
Make sure no one's going to overtake you. Okay, you're in a new road now. What we're going to check now?
Oh, interior mirror and right hand door mirror.
Yeah, well done.
Turn left, please.
We'll turn left here, please, Tony. So you're starting to pick up the similarities between doing your emerging and you turning left and right?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of the processes are the same, aren't they? So have you been enjoying all your driving lessons so far?
Yeah, I have, yeah. Now we're going to turn right, please.
So what are you going to do first?
Oh, interior mirror.
And then?
Right hand door mirror.
And then?
Signal.
Brilliant.
I've got to got that left to centre, haven't I?
Yep, you grab your left centre position, and then you need to come to a complete stop before we turn.
I always need to come to a complete stop, no?
No, not always, but I don't want you to do. I wanted you to this time. So do you have time to cross the road now?
What?
I'm saying before you turn. Remember the walk across routine? You see, you couldn't cross the road now, could you?
No.
Okay. So we need to check again.
Oh, I can cross now, yeah?
No, you can't
No,
cross yet.
no, I mean after him. No, I couldn't, man.
Yeah, see, I'm looking all the way down the road.
Right, yeah.
So you can see all the cars coming up.
Oh, I could cross now, couldn't I? No.
Could you have crossed the road there on foot?
No. I'd have to run, wouldn't I?
Yeah, remember it's the 4S's.
Yeah.
Okay, what about after this white taxi?
Yeah, I can turn the wheel a little bit to give me a bit
Yeah,
of
don't
chance
do
now.
that. Okay, just wait there a second there for me, Tony, now. Put the steering wheel straight.
Alright.
Remember? Okay, you can turn now. Remember, we never put any steering on before we turn. Because if anyone runs into the back of us, Tony, they're going to push us into the wrong side of the road, into oncoming traffic.
We're going to turn left.
We'll turn left here. And when you've got your steering on, remember your wheels are sticking out like that.
Right, yeah.
You've already got a left to centre position. So we're already really close
Alright.
to the white line.
Oh, I get you. And at the very end of the road, we're going to be turning left, please.
At the end of the road, we'll turn left, please. So yeah, Tony, that walk across routine is really important because we don't want to cause that vehicle coming towards us any of the 4S's. Do you remember what some of those 4S's are?
Stop.
Yep, that's one.
Slow.
Yep,
Swerve.
yep,
Steer, did you say?
yep, perfect. So we don't want to cause them to do any of those things. And you've got to be able to walk across the road without making them do that. And then you know it's safe to drive across the road. Because, I mean, if you do turn in front of someone and they're coming right close towards you, if they try and swerve around you, what could potentially go wrong there? What would be the consequences of them swerving around you?
I'm not too sure.
Okay, I'll tell you. They're going to be on the wrong side of the road. They might not be able to see who's coming. There might be an oncoming accident. Or if they don't swerve, Tony, they don't have enough time to stop. They're going to run straight into you. Yeah.
That'll be your side, though, won't it?
Yeah, it will be my side.
And if we stop on the left.
And we'll stop on the left, please,
You
Tony.
can just ignore the
Yeah.
line for the moment, yeah? We better drop it when that car pulls up. Oh, it's quite difficult.
Yeah. Do you see how a lot of the tools you used last week for merging were the same tools that you use this week for turning left and right?
Yeah, I thought the mirrors and the and eventually I understood the signal was the same.
Yeah. And what about your reference point for turning right and also your reference point for emerging right? It was kind of similar?
Yeah, they were. You just had to relate them into the different situations, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Because obviously it's a different subject up there today, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And it's it takes a while to tie them all in together, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the end.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, that definitely would have been a pass, yeah?
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Better than the first one.
Yeah, well, I liked the first one. Have you any idea what you done wrong on the first one?
Yeah, I totally forgot about the left of centre position reference point, and then I knew I was doing something wrong because the lesson wasn't going smoothly, and I couldn't for the life of me work out what it was. And when you eventually led me to it enough, I was just kind of trying to do it in a rush then at the end rather than doing it nice and calmly at the beginning. Because really, when you're doing your left and right turns, well, when you're doing your right turns, after you're doing your mirrors and your speed, the very first thing we need to do is get that left of centre position reference point.
Yeah, and you done the right thing there. You weren't getting the chance to hold me on some of the junctions.
Yep.
You pulled me over, and I like that. Yeah?
Yep.